Lee.
I am Mila. What up, people?
We're on episode 29 of Real Life is Friends podcast. Again, I'm one of your hosts, Kimberly, and that is Mila. And we have a very exciting show coming up. Um, we're going to be talking about the Astro world. We're also going to be talking about the Diddy verdict. And also we're going to be talking about let me remember. Oh, Ashanti and Nelly, because that's what you all are all talking about these days. Mila is, I guess, having some technical difficulties, but once she doesn't have technical difficulties, she's going to ask us a question. So make sure you're also um liking and subscribing to our podcast on here. Also with social media, on Facebook, we're Kimberly Mila. On Instagram, I believe we're Real Life is Friends. So definitely um want to follow us on all social media platforms, including, of course, the U and the Tube. So I am just waiting for Mila to get back on here and because of her technical difficulty. So just bear with us one moment. So let's just play this tune again. Mila is back. So, Mila, what is the question of the episode?
You know what? I was kind of there was a couple of questions, but that I had, but one that I can really think of is, and it would tie into the one of the topics that we're talking about
Okay.
is, do you think the and matter of fact, maybe a couple of the topics. Do you think the season of festivals are over with? Like you have Coachella, uh,
Bonnaroo.
you have Bonnaroo Essence Festival. One that I attempted to go to last year was the Lovers and Friend Festival. Do you
Oh, okay,
think
in Vegas.
in Vegas? Yeah. So, do you think the era of festivals are over with, and that people are just ready to just get back to the standard concert series?
Um, so I don't, well, it wasn't a festival, but I went to um the No Limit concert.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have gathered, and I kind of realized this a while back, is that I absolutely hate when there's too many artists.
Mm.
Um because I feel like I'm not getting the attention of the people. Like I'm not getting the full effect of who I actually want to see because
Okay.
the sets are so short and all that stuff. So but I do also think that, like, especially with a festival, because I don't know if I think the last time I've been to a festival, I snuck in one here some years back, me and my cousin, at the riverfront. I think other than that, the last festival I went to is the one that they have, Riverbend, I guess, the one that they have in Chattanooga.
Used to
Um,
have, I don't think, and
oh,
they
they don't
really
have that one
haven't
anymore.
been. Well, I don't think they not as big as they were when I was growing up. Because when I was growing up,
Okay.
River Bend was like a whole week of concerts. You had the Bessie Smith Strut. You had a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think through the years they kind of scaled back, and that's I wonder if they're having it or something similar to that. But yeah, I remember that growing up.
Mm. Yeah,
Hmm.
so yeah, like I said, it does give you opportunity to see most festivals give you opportunity to see so many different people and so many different types of people. So it's like
Hmm.
different artists, especially the Riverbend one. Like I said, that's the only one that I can, and you have so many artists from different genres of music. So I think there's something to be said about that because
Hmm.
but so I don't think it's going to completely go away
Okay.
because people have various tastes in music and they like several different genres. And as I'm thinking about it, I don't well I guess maybe the CMA Fest is the only fest that's like just genre specific,
Right.
maybe.
I
Because I feel
think
like
that's
Coachella and Lollapalooza, if they still have Lollapalooza, like Lollapalooza may be a little bit more um genre specific, but not. It still has probably some various other artists that's mixed in with
right.
it. I think the CMA is the only
Oh,
one
that's the
that's
one that's
completely
in
country.
Lollapalooza is in Chicago, right? I think that one is in
It's somewhere.
Chicago because I think my neighbor and her sister went last year. So I think that one
Oh,
is
okay.
in Chicago. Yeah. But I mean, if we're being honest, I think probably the only really thriving festivals are, and this is just in my opinion, definitely CMA because again, it's just focused on one genre of music.
Yeah.
And then I think they have another one similar to Coachella. Is it Stage
Oh,
Coach?
Stagecoach or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I think those, are focused on one genre of music versus when you go to festivals, you have like Bonnaroo, you got what, 5 or 6 different
Yeah.
tents. And again, I think it comes to a point where you're not able to see, you're seeing the artist, but it's so
Mhm.
rushed, and so you're really not able to enjoy them versus if you were going to their own personal concert
Yeah.
tour that they were doing and say it was them and 3 4 other people. um so I think my Lovers and Friends would have been my first attempt at going to a festival with 3 stages and
Okay.
picking out who I was supposed to who I wanted to see,
Yeah.
which did not go down. But then was it earlier that year we went to Jazz in the Garden in Miami, and
Oh.
that was perfect. I mean,
Mm.
yeah. And I think I don't know if it's just because of the crowd and the age bracket, because think about Bonnaroo. You have so many different people. You have truth be truth be told, the people that are at Bonnaroo and probably at Coachella, they're under 40.
Mm. I don't know.
I
I don't
think
know.
you're gonna
I
have a
think I think I think from pictures I've seen, it looks age brackets, age ranges at Bonnaroo. Coachella, I think it's probably going to depend on the artist. I
mm,
think if you have, you have an artist like Beyonce, she's gonna get a a huge range of audience, and
I
most of her
agree.
audience is probably going to be over 35, definitely,
For
or at least
Beyonce,
over
yes,
30, over 30, over at
I
least
would
over
say
30.
yes,
Yeah,
at least over 30. But
yeah,
if somebody my age bracket was to go to Coachella, I wouldn't know any damn body. And if I know anybody, it's only going to be two or three songs. So I feel like my money would be a waste versus we,
yeah,
when I went to Jazz in the Garden, I knew everybody. You see what I'm saying? And it was a good set, and it
yeah.
was enough to show to say, "Oh, I would love to see." Like I saw Tamia, I would have loved to. I would see
Okay.
Tamia again in concert. Babyface. When you think of Babyface and all the hits that he has written, I would see him again in concert. And so I think something like that would put me, I would be more willing to see somebody in concert again. I just don't think festivals, I don't know if it would be my nerves because although a concert has a crowd,
Yeah.
a festival is a whole, I feel like that's a different crowd of people when you
Yeah,
go to a festival.
cause you gotta have some little staying power if you going to a festival. You can't just
That and
wake
ain't no
up in the
seats.
morning and be like, I'm going to a concert. Like, you have to plan that. Cause
Yeah,
they have,
right. You have to,
yeah, you have to
yeah.
plan that. Yeah.
Versus going to a concert, you know you're gonna have assigned seats.
Okay.
Uh,
You gonna
you
be
know where the
probably
bathrooms are.
indoors, or even if it's outside, you still know exactly where everything is. You ain't gotta worry about bringing anything else. You bring
Mm-hmm.
yourself. But I feel like with festivals, you have to do too much, and I don't like to do too much.
Not, let me say this, not at my big age, because my concern is how much extra do I have to pay for a seat and for the bathroom and the bar. I want to be able to get to the bathroom. I want to have a seat, and I want to get to the bar where I don't have to stand in line and wait all hours. Now
Yeah.
that's me.
No, I feel you on it. I definitely
Yeah.
understand that. Yeah, I
So I
definitely
was just
understand.
wondering if the era of festivals, you know is it dwindling down?
No, I think just think a lot of people love them. Like I said,
Hmm.
it does too much for me, so I'm not really a fan. Um, but
I feel like you
I
have to be I wouldn't say too present because you need to be present anyway, no matter where you go. But I feel like you can't fully relax at a festival.
mm,
It just seems like everything is so rushed because if you stage one looking at Erica Badu, but then I want to get to stage three to see the Roots, I'm going to cut leave
yeah,
her set early to get to stage three. You see what I'm, so it's
yeah,
like I would much rather everybody be under one roof and you have your allotted time. I can sit down, I can rest, I can go to the bathroom. I want to
yeah.
be able to be, I don't want to be, and I think maybe now at this point, I'm going to limit my activities where the crowd is going to be extra.
I understand.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, why is this not? So I don't know the full title. I should know the full title, but I don't know the full title. It is.
Astro World.
But what's the topic before, like the thing before that? Because it's something Astro World. Um,
Oh, uh, with Travis Barker. It might have been,
not
uh,
Barker. Wrong person.
his name Travis. Ain't his name Travis? What
It's
is his
Travis
name?
Scott. That's Travis Scott. Travis Barker is
Child.
the drummer.
Oh, that's married to
Yeah,
what's her
both
name?
of them connected to the same family, but
True.
just different
They
ones.
are wow, what is his name? Travis
It's Travis
Scott.
Scott.
No, but I was like, what is the name of the
Oh, okay. It
let's see.
is because it's apparently it's a whole series.
Oh, Train Wreck. It is
Okay.
yeah, Train Wreck, and because clearly there's another, I think there's another, is there a part two of it coming out? I
No,
feel like I
Trainwreck has a series of different events that they talk
okay.
about because they're the same ones with the poop
Okay, so it's Trainwreck, the Astro World tragedy.
tragedy. Yeah,
Uh of the Travis Scott concert that happened in 2020,
19.
no, one
Oh, 2020, 2021. Yeah,
twenty twenty
2021.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
2021. Um and I honestly thought it was uh a good documentary. Now, did I can't say that I was a Travis Scott fan
I'm not a Travis
beforehand.
Scott fan.
I, yeah, I'm not a Travis. I wouldn't say
I couldn't
I'm
even
not.
tell you what song he. I can't even give you. If you said I will give you $10 million, and you tell me a Travis Scott song, if I
I'm broke,
cannot use my phone or the internet, then I'm not gonna get the money because I don't know it.
broke. Let me
I
tell
don't
you,
know it.
I would, I would continue to be broke. Don't ask me. Do I know Travis songs? Now I can pick them up out of a lineup. I can pick them out of a lineup, but babe, I can't tell you no songs that little buddy sing. Have I seen him on the inters and the net? I have. Does he look like he's a little manic? Yep. But I wouldn't know any songs. But again, and this is why, I asked, is this the end of festivals? Because Astro World, he it was a, I don't want to say a parody or
It was a homage.
homage,
It was a homage to
a homage
Astro
to
World, the Six Flags Astro World,
Six
but it's
Flags,
in
yeah.
Houston. Yeah,
And so he wanted to bring that energy back of Astro World, in the Travis Scott form, and have a festival where everybody, I think there several stages. I know there was several
yeah. I feel like it was at
stages,
least three. At
three
least three.
stages. But then he had his particular stage. You had a left and a right side, so maybe it was shaped like a T or whatever. And so I think from the beginning, the logistics just wasn't on point, because they didn't take into account the crowd, how the crowd will rush in, because a lot of them just went straight through the barricades. And when it was time for him to come on stage, one side filled up a little bit quicker than the other side. And the side that filled up a little bit quicker is where most of the people got trampled, and unfortunately, they died of
Yeah.
there were several casualties there. But it brings up, I guess, a question of, okay, he's performing and these people are being stepped on, crushed on, and so it's like he didn't know what was going on, or he knew what was going on, or it took a lot for them to say, hey, stop the show, because you know people are dying and people are getting stepped on. uh and I don't know if I would fault him 100%. Would
Oh,
I?
I would.
Well, my thing is this, is that, as I would think, as a celebrity, there's, of course, different parts of the puzzle. And you have Live Nation, you have him, you have his people, And if you're going to have a concert, what you want to do is ensure that everybody is going to be safe.
Mhm.
And I think with him, I fought Live Nation because, again, I think the logistics of, whether they wanted to stop the show, because I think people was like, we don't want to stop the show. We're going to, look bad, yada, 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 yada. I don't want to put all the blame on him because he was really performing. But again, the people that's going to be in his ear should have said, stop. They let that show. He done went on and did several songs before they even decided to stop the show.
Yeah, he was more than an hour. So this is, let me tell you why I blame him.
Mm,
Don't get me wrong, I'd also do blame Live Nation because they should have just went ahead and stopped it when they started realizing that all these people was having to have CPR and all this stuff. So whoever was on the promotional team for
mm,
um the Astroworld festival, based on the promo that they put out, based on the chaotic nature that Travis Scott has apparently
mm,
is what his signature thing is, it was a recipe for disaster. They put
mm.
out a whole entire video from 2019 of people jumping the fences and all this stuff. So what did you get? You got people jumping the fences. So at that time, you never had control. It was never control because Travis Scott is so chaotic, and the promo was like, you know, we jumping fences, we doing the little whatever mosh pits, we doing
Yeah.
this, we're doing that. Like everything about it is so chaotic that that's why I blame him or whoever the marketing of it was, because that created the environment of why everything ended up being the way it was, unfortunately. Like
Mm.
when you go to a normal festival or a normal concert, if you see the barricades, you go through the entrance. You don't
True.
jump over the barricades. You don't tear down the barricades. This is what the people were doing. So that was already a recipe for disaster, that we can't control crowds. We don't know how many people, like we sold so many tickets, but that was already sold out. And there's people that literally probably was in that festival with not one single ticket
Well, see, and
because
that
they
was
was
going to
just
be
like, let's just jump the fence.
well,
Let's
and that
just
was going to
tear
be
down the
my
fence.
question. Yeah, because I guess that was my question. Well, my question to you would be: those that jumped the fence, do you think they was actually ticket holders
I think
versus?
some of them were. I think some of them were, but then I think, like I said, because of the chaotic nature that he embodies, that
Mm,
allowed for his crowd to embody the same kind of chaotic nature. So I think that's what caused most of the issues, because
mm,
of because you can't just be like, because think about it this way: if you go to if you get a promotion for an event and it seems like it's going to be elegant and all this stuff, black tie, you know, all of this, when you're going to dress for the black tie event, you're going to
right.
go in the manner of like, oh, this is an upscale black tie blah 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 event. Now if you go into a whole hockey game, you gonna dress like you going to a hockey game. You're gonna, so you're gonna embody and dress
You know what
and
the
perform.
energy is when you get
Exactly.
there.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And so if you go and have a promotional thing that's chaotic, you're gonna expect chaotic, and you got chaos, and you got, unfortunately, so many people. I think, was it, I can't remember how many people it was, but so many people died. But I just want to first of all stop and say something right now. That paramedic should never be a paramedic ever again in life. And I hope he doesn't is not currently a paramedic, because the moment he said, if I have to save you, you already in a bad situation. That is not somebody that I'm thinking is going to save me at all. This is not somebody I even want working on me. I might as well just get my little nephews and nieces to come and help me out at that point
You know what? At this point,
because
he
he
must have been a
disturbed
paramedic.
me.
He must have been a paramedic that read paramedic for dummies. Because
Baby,
baby,
he
you,
must have watched that paramedic show, baby, because he was absolutely I said, are you really on national TV saying this? Like, did you know that there is a camera in front of you and you're saying this? And you had that, and I think about the nursing student that just literally got her whole entire license,
yeah,
and she actually went out there and did her job. Shout out to that nurse,
right.
because the amount of audacity that that man had, the paramedic had, I was shocked. I said, so you're saying that people shouldn't come to you, like you're in a bad shape if you have to come to me? And then he was like, and we needed a fibrillator, we needed a this. Sir, why did you not come prepared for anything? Like, did you not tell like, it was chaotic. I couldn't stand that man. Nobody else really in the thing bothered me, like,
Even the
personality
security guards, I
wise.
was with them. You know, it was just
Yeah,
you.
they was trying their best to, like, but you
Uh,
can't really. And then, like, it's not funny, but it was funny. But to see all those security guards that's hunched over, um clearly they done got tired, they done ran out of breath, and they just like, I ain't running after nobody no more. I ain't trying to catch nobody. Whatever happens at this point,
you know
because
what? At this time, he did. They probably like, I'm just gonna wave and point, like this way you
because
go.
I cannot even imagine literally going to a concert and then everybody's taking down the barricades. I'd be like, you can have this. Where my money? Give me my money back, because I'm not
But you
doing this.
know, that would honestly be scary because my thing is if I'm going somewhere and they're knocking down the whole barricade, my thing is I'm looking at them sideways like, y'all didn't get better security. Y'all couldn't get the local police department
They were
to,
there. The police department was there, though. Houston Police
but
Department was also there.
clearly they wasn't getting paid enough where they felt like they was like, I ain't even supposed to stop for. But I guess you really, and I got to put myself in their shoes because you one or two people that's standing there in front of the barricade. I ain't can't stop 50 folks from coming through. They gonna
Mm-hmm.
overpower me. So I mean, at this point, if you gonna rush through, then let me step back and you rush on through, cause I can't stop you. At this point, I can maybe identify you if they put the pictures up and we looking to see who we gonna arrest, but I can't. You can't stop 50 people from or more than that from coming through when they are determined. But again, I did not know. I guess I've only seen Travis Scott and videos of him, like where he's just so antsy. He has so much energy, and I think he was at the DJ booth and he just kept pounding on somebody's laptop, and I'd have been like, dude, what the fuck? Why are you hitting on my laptop? What my laptop do to you? So I don't know him. I don't, but clearly he has a following.
He seems like a emo rapper or something. I don't know. Maybe not even
What
emo.
the
I
fuck is
don't
an
know.
emo? Is it
Like emo is like emotional or whatever. Like, the it's not necessarily goth, but they are somewhat in the same, like, they're similar
them
personality
dark,
wise.
like goth is them dark people that's like and
Hmm.
all,
Yeah.
and so he's supposed
No, I'm
is
just
it
saying, in my, like, emo is different, but
mm,
it's kind of similar in my mind. Or either maybe just alternative rap or something. I don't know. Like I said, I can't give you a song of his. I can't, but I just know that, like, obviously he raps and stuff like that. And they just wanted to go ahead and bring Drake out because they could have should have stopped it before then, and then they couldn't find the Live Nation people. it was just a whole hot mess of everything that was going on. And this is also something, so this crowd, now that crowd in particular is, it's going to be more of a younger crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
Yeah,
like
definitely
because
younger.
he was with Callie, that
Yeah.
it was going to be people that may not necessarily like his music, but like his attachment to Callie. I
Do
think
you
that
think that's the reason that he is at the, I guess,
no, 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 no.
entertainment?
No,
Okay.
I think that she added some fans, don't get me wrong, but I
Hmm.
think that he already clearly already had a base. But the the way nobody decided that, okay, I am right here, I am being swooshed, and nobody tried to like box out anybody. Cause baby, I would have already boxed you out. I would have became a brick wall at that point because I would have moved my arms and my shoulders and my elbows.
But I think,
Um,
but again, you dealing with people that at a concert and their ultimate goal is to see how close they can get to the stage, and so they
and
cut
like
it
I told,
down to get
and I totally get the fact that you want to be close to the stage because I'm at the era of my life that like I need to be able to sit down. I don't mind going to concerts, but I need a seat. I need a whole seat because I need to be able to sit down. So I'm not for that. I'm also not for people like jumping on me like a mosh pit type situation. So I'm definitely not Travis Scott intended audience. Let's just make that clear. But I think because of the nature of his type of concert and the intended audience for his concert, I think that gave a younger crowd, and that also gave crowds that are not, I think, as cognitive of what's actually going on with other people, maybe even some kind of, entitlement or something like that, because it's really, to me, really odd that you would literally see people out here that are um falling down and people not trying to help them, need people not trying to like, you know give people space, because I can only imagine that it was very chaotic, and it probably felt, because people saying, was saying to the point that they couldn't even breathe. So if you get to the point that like you're so swished that you can't even breathe, like this becomes definitely a very big issue in my mind, as it relates to the whole, tragedy of everything that happened, because a lot of this was because, some one of the guys, the nurse helped save the guy, and they said that he had like went into cardiac arrest or something like that. Um, People had got trampled over. Just a lot of
down.
things were
I'm
happening, and
just,
I think a lot of the time the reason why it happened is because, these people are not being cognitive of everything that was going on, and just was like, I want to see him, I want to see him, and not realizing like, okay, somebody is literally out here not able to breathe. I need to help that person. So
but as I was clearly just talking my ass off, and the internet went off on me. Uh, my thing was, as I was saying, was that okay? We know that the people, has anybody, and I don't think I remember hearing this or seeing this in the documentary. Nobody in the crowd has been charged with stampeding on anybody, or crushing anybody. It's really been just Live Nation and Travis Barker, right?
yeah, it ended up being a civil suit, and they already settled and everything.
Okay.
Well, the issue, I think what the issue was about the criminal charges or potential criminal charges is that there was some kind of rumor that people was injecting other people in the neck. That's where,
Hmm.
because it was on the documentary. So I think that's where that came in at, that people were thinking that somebody was
Hmm.
injecting the people and causing them to pass out. Hey, little mama.
Hey, little mama.
Or Tamia, if you want me to call you Tamia. But yeah, so I think that ended up being like a big part of why I think the crowd, the type of crowd it was the reason why it got so chaotic. Because I feel like people like us, like, we would have been like, can you move? Cause I don't like, I'm not like, cause people, cause I don't know if you heard it, heard me say this, but people were, kept on talking about they couldn't breathe. Like it got to swoosh for them that they couldn't even breathe and all that stuff. So I'm thinking to
Uh-huh.
myself, like, that's why I'm like, I would have boxed somebody out. These elbows would have came up. And I would have had to be like, no, we're not going to be doing this. This is not what we're going
But
to be
again,
doing
I
today.
think, but doesn't that lead back into the crowd or his fans and his supporters? Because if you like mosh pits or whatever they call them, then that's what they're known to do. I guess is
Hmm.
suffocate. And I don't want to say suffocate. I feel like that's wrong, but that's their ultimate goal is to, again, everybody is pushing. So is it that when you go to something like this, and I don't want to sound harsh or anything, but is that what you sign up for because you know when you get there that that's what's going to happen? Because did not one time did I see there being bleachers of seats. Everything was standing room only.
Yeah, because, well, that's going to be most festivals anyway. It's going to be
Right.
standing room. That's why I
Yeah.
don't go to them, because I need to
So
sit down.
because after about 2 3 songs, and that's if that song is ain't it's a good song, but it ain't hitting where I need to stand up. I'm gonna sit on down. So my
Okay.
thing is that if you are there in you're there and you know that's what, because I don't I hate that anybody lost their life
Yeah.
in that. It's definitely unfortunate. But is it like when you go and nobody goes to festivals expecting to not
Yeah.
return back home? Um, but is that what you know that's going to happen? Because I guess if you go to something like that, your goal is not to be in the back of the mosh pit. You're trying to get just as close as you possibly can.
Yeah. It's just they, like I said, they completely settled and everything. So,
And
any
he
other?
did. Has he done another?
Yeah, he did another tour. He had. I don't think he did another Astro World, but he did another tour with Live Nation, like 2024, I believe, 23 or 24. He did.
And that's just a drop in the bucket, probably for Live Nation, considering how many concerts and things they
Yeah.
sponsor. That was just a drop in the bucket uh, for them. So you know, I, it makes you question, like, okay, what concert, what festival do I really want to go to and know, you have to, I guess you have to think about the crowd that's going to be there and what you're
Yeah.
willing to deal with. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you want to be
Yeah. Like, I don't think that
in
I
the
would
mix
ever
of
be
that.
participating in
I
it. Yeah. I don't think I've ever be able. I don't think I would. I don't think a festival like that, because if you literally, this is me, if you're breaking down the fences and all the gates and stuff that people have up, I am turning around. I'm not participating, because at that point I know that I'm not safe. I know that
Mm-hmm.
any and everybody can get through,
Mm-hmm.
because the gates and fences are down. and I don't want any parts of that because
So
I'm
that means
trying to
that
live.
because literally at that point now, you on your own.
Exactly.
Security ain't got nothing. I cannot help you, cannot save you, because at that point you're really out there fiending for yourself. And again, when you go to a concert, you want to feel safe
Yeah.
there. You know, and again, as safe as possible because anything can go down, but
Yeah.
you definitely want to feel safe. And I guess I'm like you at this big age of mine, baby. You knock down one or two fence, I'm chalking that concert ticket up, baby, to a loss
Okay.
because I want to get back home.
Exactly. Exactly.
I want I wants to get back home, which means I'm not going through.
Yeah.
You can miss me with that.
Any other thoughts on it?
No, it was a very good documentary, so I will say that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, as many of you all know, Puff Daddy was found guilty of, I think, 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, but he was acquitted of the rest of the charges. Um, Also, apparently it's being reported allegedly that the prisoners gave him a standing ovation when he came back because he basically beat the charges. Like, he still had 2 charges that he got found guilty of. And also, I think it's really, really, really odd, really, really weird that a lot of these celebrities didn't say anything prior to, like, even though I don't like Boosie like that, at least Boosie stayed like, at least he was outspoken before and after, from my
You know
understanding.
what? And we have to give credit to where credit is due for Boosie.
Yeah,
Boosie,
his loyalty about the situation was his loyalty about the situation. But then you have people like Tiny and stuff like that that never said anything, never said a mumbling word. But now all of a sudden they're opening their mouth. And some about that don't sit right with me. It does not sit right in my spirit. In my mind, the summaries that I received of the people that actually showed up to court and all that stuff that made their um reels and TikToks and all that stuff. I for sure thought he was going to be charged with the RICO. I thought he was getting the RICO, because he was looks like, he was spending money from the company to purchase the drugs and all this stuff. Like, he was doing all the RICO stuff, all
right,
the things
right.
that I know are considered RICO, but he didn't.
From your
So
criminal TV watching,
okay.
your criminal background.
Well, because the thing about it is that the defense. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, this is probably why I've not been on a jury, and probably why I don't know. The moment the defense decides not to even call anybody, baby, we ain't gonna do that because I don't. But if I'm being completely honest, I think a lot of what happened, obviously not from the jurors' perspective, but I think how the prosecutors and the defense started doing the things. I felt like they figured that the current was gonna pardon him because these are federal
Mm,
charges.
mm-hmm.
Because the current had already made mention of possibly pardon him. So I guess that's the reason why people that probably should have, because I was shocked that Carisha wasn't called. Definitely shocked that she wasn't
Well,
called
I guess I
to the
was shocked
stand.
maybe that she wasn't called, but also to his, I guess the main lady, they called her KK. I was shocked maybe that she wasn't, called. I can't think of what her name is. Um, you know,
I thought she was called.
well, maybe she was, and I just didn't see, the script or the
You talking
or
about the
that
assistant, right? The assistant.
his assistant, the
Yeah.
KK.
Yeah, I think she was called.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I missed that. Uh, but I think when they first started dropping charges or things that they said they weren't going to charge him for, my thing was they're doing that because they know it's not going to stick like the other charges. And so my thing was, okay, in order for them to get some type of conviction, then they need to stick with what has been proven. Uh, Two things. One is, why the fuck is y'all cheering for him to come back into the prison system, into the general population? Like, how the fuck does that benefit you? You in here cheering him on like he done won the Super Bowl. Uh, I'm trying to figure out. I'm hoping that's just a lie that his people just put out. I'm just trying to figure out why. Why they clapping for him in return. Back to his little pod that he in. Second of all, is celebrities. I think it's a two-way street with them, and I don't even
Okay.
know if it's a two-way street with them. It's because I think Tiny made a post under, or made a comment under. I think it might have been one of Kim Porter friends
The one that
posts.
has a one that apparently has custody of the twins.
Oh, she got custody. Okay,
Yeah.
so
That's how I
uh,
understood it as.
okay, is it Ebony? I think is her name. Maybe.
I can't remember.
Eh, I remember because that may have been the post that Tiny and Candy liked. Uh was, praise God. God is good. Let's not get it tangled and twisted.
Okay.
God is really good.
Leave
And
God
he
out of this one. Like,
you know, there's a see, and again, there's a lot of things people want to twist and tangle up and bring God in. Because if you was really going by God's way, baby, you wouldn't have had 12,000 bottles of Astro God and baby oil and all the dope right now. That ain't of the word. That ain't what's in the Bible. Now, maybe not the Bible I read and the one that I have read. It ain't all that ain't in there. So, people thank God, yada 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 yada. And I think Tiny comment was they want to charge you for being freaky.
freaky.
This is the thing. Don't nobody give a good goddamn what you do in your bedroom.
No, there are
That's your
people
business.
that there's people that care, but I
That's clearly
understand you don't.
yeah. I don't. What I'm not gonna do is politic and police anybody's bedroom. But we have to be honest and call a thing a thing. What he did to that girl, Cassie, was wrong. You can't flip it, you can't tangle and twist it, you can't do nothing.
But see,
What
I
he
think that's where I hate to interrupt you, but I think that's where the issue lies with people. They just see and think about Cassie and not thinking about the whole entire situation that happened with,
Mhm.
you know, these people. He's using company money to go purchase the prostitutes and travel this place, and he's, basically coercing them or threatening them to, if they don't do what they supposed to do, then he's not going to pay their bills. He's not going to do this. He's going to physically harm them. I think a lot of the people focus on the Cassie aspect of it, but it was bigger, much bigger than the Cassie thing. But I'm
but
sorry.
we
Go ahead.
right, but we know that definitely played a part in it because I think again What you do in your bedroom is your business. I ain't knocking that. You do whatever you feel is clever to do. But I think with him is that his ego got the best of him. And he's like, I'm Diddy. I'm Sean Combs. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. And who's going to stop me from doing whatever? He's clearly not the first executive or person in the music business that has an ego and an
Mm-mm.
attitude problem and feels that he can get and do whatever it is he wants to do. I think when that video came out, because the video came out after she filed
Yeah.
that suit. So clearly, and there probably was rumblings of what he was doing to people back
Yeah.
in the day, and it just never really, you know, got out. Again,
Plus, they could only
he's
go back apparently 10 years, from my understanding.
okay. So we got statutes of limitations. So there's only so much that people can go back. So we don't know how long he has been doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
Uh, I think I probably, if I was on the jury or one of the jurors, I would probably been like, why he ain't getting up there? Because tell me, explain to me why you did what you did, or why did you feel the need to do it? Because
But
I feel like you didn't go, you ain't out there defending yourself. Yeah, you paid all this money for these lawyers, but get up there and tell me a little something.
yeah, like I said, I think everything shifted once Current came out and said, there's a possibility of whatever he said regarding the pardon. And I think everything at that moment changed, because it's like, why go through the process of doing all of this stuff? Why put more people in harm? um you know why why this, why that, when, because the fact that nobody was called on the defense, like somebody said, like, you couldn't even find a person that's going to give you a character, of your
Could nobody give you
character.
the, could nobody give you a letter of recommendation for the jury? You mean to tell me all these all these people you know, and nobody said, you know what? I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna tell the people he a solid dude. He didn't do it. You didn't have Stevie J come out, and we know he one of his top buddies. You didn't see him.
You have his
Uh,
the kids didn't talk on his behalf.
you hear me? Because I guess if my daddy was on trial, I'm gonna say my dad. You know what daddy we talking about? Because we gonna roll with the step. I'm gonna get him.
Pops.
Let me tell you,
It's gonna be
baby,
Pops.
pops gonna get a award winning recommendation. Biological dad, he did it.
You saying you gonna show up for the prosecution?
Sure will. He said XYZ. I believe it. But you see what I'm saying? It's like I don't know if the people was playing in our face or what, because
Like, I would have been mad. I ain't gonna lie. I would have been mad and being like, so you couldn't call nobody. You couldn't call not one
there was
person.
not one person in his phone contact log are the people that has his main number. Your children's mother, living or dead, they couldn't say nothing. Your mama couldn't get up there with her synthetic wig. She had a blonde one curly. Then she had a nice little wavy one. She couldn't get up there. You could have even got the chauffeur to say something. Hell, the garbage man of the lawn of the landscaper. You mean to tell me there was not one person that wanted to go on record and say, no, this ain't him.
So
He
now,
treated me fine. You see what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
nobody.
So now I'm wondering, like, if who's gonna, if some of these same people that's, now, you know, clapping for him, I wonder if they're gonna try to present statements for the citizen. I don't know. Like I said, if I
Hmm.
was on that jury, baby, I saw enough that I was like, that's Rico. That sound like Rico to me. That's what it sounds like to me.
And again, I'm going off my little pair of Mason Judge Judy, Greg Mathis law degree. Yeah, my Barney Fife Mayberry degree. I mean, do I think he's going to get some time? It's definitely. I don't see him getting nothing past 10 years, maybe.
I think it's a 10-year max. So for two times for two offensive, so technically I think he can be given 20 years. I don't know if he's going to give it because again, he's going to probably, pay whatever everybody else paid to get their pardon that had money,
Mhm. I think with him,
allegedly.
well, I think with him again, if the people are really, you know, the prosecution, I guess they knew what was going to stick, and again, they knew what to charge him with. That 45, 47 wouldn't get involved, and it really probably would be at the state level,
Yeah, because he
and
can't do anything at the state
he can't
level.
do nothing
Yeah.
with that. So I think with that, he can't buy his way out of it. Uh, but he will. I think he will get some time. Now he's probably mad that he got to wait clean on to what, September or October
Yeah, because I
to.
think he thought he was gonna bail himself out and he was gonna be out here walking these streets.
Let me tell you, the children right now, they dancing, do wop bop bop, honey, thinking he free, he free. Mm-mm. He went right on back in there to
Okay.
his little dorm. He
And this
ain't
is,
free.
and I don't understand. Like, I don't know where they're, like you said, Perry Mason, Madlock, you know, Law and Order, you know,
Columbo, Angela Lansbury, Murder She Wrote. I mean, I don't
Night
know.
Court. I don't know where these people decided to get their information from. Was like he's free, he's innocent, he's that baby. He still got charged.
He got charged.
Y'all be missing key points of it. Y'all comprehension skills. Your mama should have brought you a book like my mama brought me a book to improve my comprehension skills when I was a kid because clearly you don't understand nothing.
Cause let me tell you, they got in that sprinter, baby, smiling. He free. He coming home. Mm-mm. No,
Okay.
he
I'm like, do
wouldn't.
y'all not understand the fact that yes, he was acquitted on certain charges and he was not acquitted on other charges. So therefore he is guilty. He is not free. There is no free P Diddy because P Diddy is still gonna be locked up. It's not
He's
gonna
going.
be. If
But this is
anything,
the
it's
thing.
gonna be free Diddy until it's backwards. Diddy free. Like, we're not doing that. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, what are y'all? Y'all are not watching the correct TV, and that bothers me. That's upsetting me and my homegirls. Because if you can't watch Law and Order and get some figured out, then what can you do?
You can't even watch People's Court, and you
Okay,
know, like, wait, you okay? You heard not guilty, not guilty, guilty, guilty,
guilty.
and not guilty, and you think those three not guilty is gonna equal him coming home?
Probably watching playing too many video games. And we got Scandal. We got How to Get Away with Murder. Them episodes, go back and watch them episodes. We got Monk. Well, it ain't really legal like that, but we got that. We got what's the one on Hulu with the girl, with the lady?
Oh, reasonable doubt.
We got Reasonable Doubt. We got that judge lady show, the black judge with the pretty curly hair. That one. Uh like there is so many shows, legal shows. The fact that you did not get your degree from Law and Order, and I'm not even a regular Law and Order girl, but I have watched some episodes, but I'm a Law and Order SVU girl, and I got my degree in Law and Order SVU, and I know better.
Let me tell you, I tell my baby, my parent makes a lawyer degree. Yeah. It shows me, baby, when they say guilty, that does not equal release.
Just
Get back in there.
Not the brightest people in the world. Just not gonna be bright.
Right.
Just not.
Hey, right there doing thumbs up. He free. He free. Down there twirling.
But you got the people in the comments too. The people in the comments on these posts are like, and I'm like, go watch TV. This is the time that you need to go watch TV, because you need to turn on one of them legal shows. Alec McBeal. Let's go back to Alec McBeal. I'm quite sure they're screaming somewhere on one of them services. Scandal, I know, is on Netflix. And then there's Private Practice. We got a lot of shows that tell you, and there's a lot of shows that tell you about
this. Bless it.
And you decided to not watch nothing. And you
not a damn one.
And then be arguing with people up and down in the comment section. Baby, you didn't even go to Law and Order.
They did not go to People's Court. Okay. They did not go to Judge Maybelline. You hear me? Greg Mathis. There's like several court 30-minute shows on TV. Judge Judy. We know how Judge Judy get down. So y'all done missed like 5 or 6 different shows. And y'all equate 3 not guilty and 2 guilty to him coming home. That's not how this works, sugar. Okay. You got to have 5 not guilties to get released.
When you get 5 charges, you got to have 5 not guilties. You get 1 not guilty, you still guilty. That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
Them people, and that's the sad part. Them people thought they rather he coming home, he free. No,
because people are not. There's Boston Legal. I'm pulling up legal law shows right now. Lincoln Lawyer. They got suits on here.
Say law, LA law. Let's go back.
Okay. The Good Wife. They got all these good shows. All Rise is the show I'm talking about with the black lady with the pretty hair. So All Rise. They got all these shows out here, and you decided to not watch any of them and think you gonna know better than us? Absolutely not. Not with my Law and Order degree.
Let me tell you. What little few hours I took of criminal justice down there at the college at Alabama A&M. No. Baby.
No. For the people, that's another one. Now, some of these shows I ain't never heard of a day in my whole entire life.
Nonetheless, they ain't been watching them. So while they in the studio trying to rap and saying not guilty and dancing, getting their little choreography together, y'all didn't read the legal briefs or whatever it is them people bring out. Because clearly, y'all missed 2-3 meetings with your dad as attorneys to kind of know what guilty and not guilty equals. And clearly, again, You need five. That's five. Not guilties to go home.
Hmm.
You end up with two guilties. Two guilties mean you stay in jail.
Okay.
That's two.
But I think he was expecting to pay that bail or bond, whatever it's called, and go ahead and get some of that, time between the
Mm-mm,
verdict and the sentencing.
mm-mm.
And they
The
was like,
people said, "Stop. Your flight risk, my boy.
okay,
Mm-mm. Let's
because I
let's
know I
let's
wouldn't
send you
trust
on.
them.
Let's send you on back down there to cell blocks 12 or wherever you at. We gonna send you back down there. Now you can enjoy this little hand clap, this little walkthrough of the people clapping for you, but you need five not guilties, not three not guilties, and two guilties. You need five. Let's count them. Five. I ain't the best at math, but I know five not guilties get you back home in your bed.
Yep.
Two not guilties may give you 10, 20 years. When you was looking at five guilties and you looking at about 50 years, now that's a win. That's a win. That's a win in itself. You know what? You knocked out 30 years on your sentence, but you still in jail.
Apparently, there's some kind of show called Better Call Saul, a prequel from Breaking Bad. I didn't watch that, but I was like, oh my goodness, all these shows that I never heard of in my whole entire life. But anyway, any other thoughts about that, Ditty?
Y'all need to read up on y'all legal stuff is all I can say.
Or watch it? I just gave you a full list of shows. They are available on somebody's streaming service. They have to be
And I know
available.
y'all got streaming services right now. It's too many of y'all not to have streaming services and to share the login password. Clearly, most of y'all are still in the same household. So therefore, go do a little research.
Because some of y'all is not as bright as I want you to be.
Y'all ain't the brightest bulb.
So the last thing we're going to talk about is Ashanti and Nelly. So they have a
Mm,
show. Now, I didn't watch their show. So
I did.
don't ask me anything about their show because I didn't watch it. But the important part about this discussion is the fact. So apparently Nelly said he's not, and since you watched the show, maybe you be able to elaborate. But one the gist of it is that he's not gonna be changing any diapers. Also,
Nellis.
keep in mind that Nelly got grown kids. All of
Mhm.
Nelly other kids are grown.
And one has a baby that is, let's say, maybe a year because they showed him. So he's
Okay.
under two. Yeah, so he's
Okay.
under two. So he's a granddaddy.
This is your granddaddy.
Granddaddy,
This
granddaddy,
is your
this is your,
granddaddy.
this is your uncle, uncle.
So yeah, so Nelly, because I remember used to watching that show. So
Mm-hmm.
people are up in arms. Oh my goodness, why would you have a child with somebody that don't want to help? Da 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 da. First of all, let me just help y'all out because this is something else that you all do not understand. Their money and our money ain't the same. Unless your
Not at
money and
all.
his money is the same, or you got more than him. You talking from a reference of yourself.
You talking from a
We can't pay for nannies. They can
baby.
pay for nannies. They
We
can
got
pay
to
for
rely.
multiple nannies. Baby,
We got
we
to
gonna
rely
have to
on
call
grandma,
grandmama or auntie or somebody to be like,
cousin.
I need a little help. I'm gonna need a little help. I
Facts.
I think so many people, when it comes to celebrities, they look at celebrities as like regular people, which don't get me wrong, they are regular people, but their money is different. Now, some regular people, some celebrities may not have money. They may be like us, But I think in situations where you have your own TV show, that means that they're giving you probably more money than I make
in a
per episode.
lifetime.
Per episode, they're giving you more money than I make in a year, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't compare because obviously she has, plus not to mention, like I said, Nelly has plenty of kids. They're all grown. So
Mm-hmm.
he probably did initially at that point in his life probably did change diapers. Now Nelly is 50 years old and Nelly like, I don't know if I want to change any diapers. And this her only child. So he like, won't you just change the diapers? I'm gonna hire, you can have all the nannies and all this stuff. So their lifestyle is not our lifestyle, and we keep putting people lifestyles on our lifestyles on them. Because first of all, you can't tell me that you ain't changing no diaper because we don't have money for nannies. So you can't tell me that.
Some of y'all baby daddies ain't even there to help y'all change them diapers or burp them babies. So let's start there. Uh,
Okay.
let's just call a thing a thing. Some of y'all baby daddies ain't even there to help change. So y'all ain't got no business judging that good Ashanti and that Nelly. Now Nelly said on the show, because I watched it. Uh, now I was absolutely bored
Mhm.
that particular Saturday and watched it. Uh
Okay.
and I watched it in this all entirely. Let me say this. Ashanti Mama is the highlight to me of the show. I like Mama.
Okay.
I like the mama slash manager. As she say, I'm the mom, but if you make me angry, I'm that's momager, the original momager. Anger. So I like her. Nelly said, I'm not changing. I'm not he and Nelly said I'm 50. And I think even before then he was like, I'm turning 50. I'm not running after no baby. I will buy. He said, I'm rich. I can get all the nannies you want. I'm just not changing no diapers. Nelly said, when that baby is able to walk, talk, and tell us what they want, then I'm on duty. And he can go on tour with me. Until then, I'm going to sleep and I'm going to let you get up and take care of this baby. Again, their money is different from our money. We
Mhm.
can give all the opinions that we want, but baby, they not in the tax bracket I am. They in a whole different tax bracket. They have a whole different lifestyle than what I have. So that's on them. That's her cross to bear, and that's her baby daddies, and that's her husband. We gonna let them good people do what they want to do with their child. So again, I'm not, and I don't. This is what I don't understand is people when they get in these celebrity comments. Why are we arguing with folks don't even know who we are and don't even know where we live or what we do for a living? Because I'm not gonna get in there. Ashanti, I'm not neither Ashanti nor Nelly biggest fans. Do they have a bop or two that I like? Yes. Would I go to see them in concert? No. I wouldn't pay for it. Let me say that. But again, I'm not knocking them people uh in what they do. But I don't understand how we as outsiders or fans of these celebrities feel we have to comment on what they do. Because if they talking about, she the mama, he need to help out. Fuck it. If that man can buy and hire nannies, then goddamn it, hire the nanny. Because who's to say she getting up every hour on the hour when that baby is crying to change the diaper? They got a
Exactly.
she probably got somebody that's a nighttime nurse or whatever they do it
Yeah.
to take care of that baby. Now she may be with the baby doing regular hours, but I guarantee you what she ain't doing, she ain't getting up in the middle of the night either because
Yeah.
she got somebody to help her out. So we only seeing it from the man standpoint. But I guarantee you there is somebody there helping her out with those feeds, and it's her or the changing because it
Yeah.
is her first baby, so she may be a little bit more hands on. But at the end of the day, let me tell you, I guarantee you, baby girl ain't getting up at no 3 o'clock in the morning changing no diaper.
Cause
She laying
baby,
right next.
if I had a nanny baby, I'm not getting up in the middle of the night. My duties are gonna be from when I wake up to when I go to sleep.
So what you said, doing 9 to 5.
No,
What a
no, I get you at least. I get you to five from 5 to 9. We can do the opposites. From about 5 to 9, I got you. Anything outside of that, I'm probably asleep.
So I mean, I ain't even mad at her if she wants to. You know, that's her husband. They got to have that conversation. He don't want to change no diapers. Then hey, that's just like me. I don't hold babies when they and I ain't got no damn baby. But let me tell you, I'm not holding no baby who head is bobbling like a bobblehead. I hold that baby when that baby head is just a taint more steady, and I ain't got to no.
I hold it if it's fat, like a fat chubby baby. If it's skinny and I feel the bones, absolutely not. If I can feel your child bones, I'm not picking your child up. Your child needs to be fat, chunky, however you want to say it.
I'm not. And let me tell you, I don't want to hold no baby that bopping like a bobblehead. No. When that baby get about 6 months, the head is just a tiny bit more steady. You know, like you said, they got a little bit more meat on them, a little more fat on them. And, that whole material. Until then, I'm not holding that. So, shit, I'm with Nelly. Yeah, call me when I hold the baby, maybe rock it a time or two, maybe feed. But, and he, man said, he about to turn 50. What he look like running after a newborn? Mm-mm. I'm not being
He
out of breath.
and he
Mm-mm.
because he'll be 51 this year in November.
Yeah, so they definitely filmed that last year. Uh, but yeah, I mean, again, they in a whole different tax bracket. I'm not
Hmm.
on here with nobody that's in a different tax bracket than me. Mm-mm. Go, hey, my thing is, mate, y'all spend y'all money how y'all want to spend it. Mm-mm. Not
Yeah,
I ain't
so
mad at.
so he has two kids, one named after him, and then uh a daughter named Chanel, and then apparently he adopted his
His sister, 2 children,
yeah,
son and daughter.
stepsister, 2 kids, yeah, because she passed away, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I give me a nanny. In fact, I'm give me a nanny
If
because
I could
I'm
afford one, I'll take a nanny. Cause
okay.
ain't no need of me
Cause
and the baby
cause
being missing
cause
sleep.
okay. Cause you waking up in the middle of the night cause the baby crying, you might wake me up because you done got out of bed. Get the nanny. Get the nanny. Get the nanny.
And I even pay for her to stay in at the house. You come on do these nighttime hours. You sleep down there. Y'all can have y'all little party down there, and then I catch you by 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yep. Cause I
Mm-hmm.
be up at 5 some when the sun is up. Now when the time changes, it's gonna be a little different story. But as of
But we're
right
gonna
now, 5 o'clock is fine. The sun is coming up. I'm up. Mm. Anything else about that one?
nah. They ain't in my tax bracket, baby. I'm not arguing with them people.
So for episode 29, who are you shouting out this episode, Mila?
Hmm. I always struggle with shout outs.
You don't be seeing nothing on social media. Nothing.
Because I try because I guess my again, I'm just shouting out the regular folks. You making it. I mean, considering uh people are losing jobs
Oh
now,
yeah.
you
Yep.
know, Uh, there's about to be changes with with quote unquote big beautiful bill. We're gonna be that Medicaid Medicaid is gonna be cut. Uh, rural hospitals may be shut down. And I shout out the people that are um advocating for those that don't have, that are about to lose, the needed resources. Yeah, I mean that's just the bottom line. Planned Parenthood, again, they resources have been cut. So a shout out to those that are on the front lines and that are helping, people out to get what they so desperately need.
Yeah.
Again, considering, the changes uh, that are going on. And then also, too, definitely thoughts and prayers to those that are affected by the floods of the
Yeah.
camp in Texas.
Yeah.
I know well, and I hadn't watched the news since this morning. So I know there was maybe roughly 15 girls or maybe some still missing. So I'm not sure
Mhm.
if that number, if they have located their bodies or anything. But again, thoughts and prayers are, and I know it sounds cliche when we say thoughts and prayers for those, because actually those that put laws into place that affected, the floods and the alert system are the ones that's saying thoughts and prayers when they really, are ones that contributed to the budget cuts. And so again, thoughts and prayers to those families, and also to the rescuers and those on the front line. Uh, keep your head up, people. I mean, it definitely has to get better.
Yeah.
While it may seems not so good right now, but it will get better.
Yeah.
So keep your head up, people.
And shout out for me for wearing a real life is friend t-shirt.
Mm.
Podcast t-shirt. Yep. But for episode 29, Real Life is Friends podcast, this is one of your hosts, Kimberly.
Mila.
Peace up, A Town.
Beep, 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 beep.